So, hi guys, this is Sangeeta, and do you know that unless we have constant learning, we cannot educate anybody. So every day, life is taking a new turn, and if this is audible to you, and so let me check the sound first, so that it is. It is done now. So every day we need to learn something new, and I have 12 mentors from whom I learn, and this is the digital coaches who actually are in a mission to impact 100 million people in the field of education. So that means unless we are learning something new every day, it becomes difficult for the other person to follow us because whatever we are saying might get outdated. So today was a day on Growth Summit held by Success Gyan India, and it's a huge lot of learning. Let me try sharing with you what all new learned today. So the first experience that I had was like when you are in a coaching business. Like I am a leadership growth mentor, and I help people to get unstuck and grow. In this field, I also help people with a new job. Whoever is going for a new job, I help with that also. So when you start, or when you ask people to get unstuck, it has a lot to do with the resume that we have. Sometimes we don't know what all we have done in our life. We have done, like say, we have gone through, say, a lot of trainings, lot of work we have done, lot of experience we have gained, lot of insights, but that doesn't reflect in the resume. If that is not reflected, then how are you going to uh, say say get through the interview process? The first thing is your scrutinization of your resume, right? So if you are not, you have not written the things that is relevant for the position that you are applying for, you will not have selected. No? Your CV will not get selected to the next stage. And when you are helping people, so people come up with lot of resistance. So why is resume? Because I have 25 years of experience. So this I have been listening and listening from a lot of people. So if you have, the more senior you get, the more is the chance of getting rejected. Do you know that? Because people at senior position, they will not take any risk. They will they will only select people who they know are proven. Somebody has to vouch for them. So they check a lot of uh, sources in which this person's credibility can be established in a senior position. Sorry about that, yeah. So when your resume is not updated, the CV is not updated, you are not able to explain about yourself. If you are looking for a job, then obviously your confidence level will be much lower. When your confidence level will be lower, you will not find the confidence the communication skill item. So if you are faltering on something, because it is huge, right? The more intense your experience has been, the more confused you will be, unless you document all those things. Because while uh, telling somebody about you, you will not go, you will not outline the entire experience. It will just give your final takeaways and how you will manage if such a situation again comes. Please understand this. So you have to start with your resume. The second thing is your attitude. You know, unless you learn. So I'll explain that. While that is what I learned today, lot from the Success Gyan Summit. So I'll give you the outline of my own takeaways from those learnings. So I'll give that. But what I'm trying to say is your attitude. If from whatever you are saying, if something incongruent is happening there, then your honesty is at stake. People will get people will not get good vibes from your candidature. And for for no other reason than this finding, because your personality is being addressed, right? Your personality is being assessed, and these this incongruences will be spotted. And so, if you are a coach, make sure that select the right kind of students. We cannot blame human beings as a whole, so we can, like say, point out to these kind of things which are not uh, offensive to us, but it might be offensive to the prospective interviewer. So that is how I rejected one person today, and after good amount of friendship, and that they say I was shocked. Today I was shocked, and this has been a repeated thing in my experience. I see people desperate for an opening, and when I just forego about my fees and all and try to serve people in some way or other, they take advantage, and that is the biggest shocking thing. So if anybody doesn't serve before being paid, then I think that person is doing great. Because if you really want your upliftment, you will find some sources of being accountable to your coaching process, right? So if that the process is not there, then it is not worth having that kind of students. So, but it came with a lot of bitter experience, so that is why I didn't feel great about this. I'm not blaming anybody, but that person also will learn his shortcomings in a very difficult way. I think so. Hopefully, he gets a job. But as per what my observation has been, he will not be retained for long time. So that is where I was coming in. That is what I was trying to teach. That is what I was trying to tell him. Blaming the other person is not a very good thing, because wherever possible, you learn what you learn, right? And if you have invested money, it is not that the other person is going to do things for you. It is you who has to do the work, right? And if, as a coach, I'm thinking that I'll help by doing it myself, then I am also on the wrong. And so it was something, not the other person has done something wrong. It is a mistake on my part as well. So accepting that mistake, and it has not given me any good feeling either, and it is a huge disappointment that has come my way today. Anyways, that is a learning, and I'm sharing with the audience so that I don't repeat that another time. Let us get to the learning, whatever learning I have undergone today. So the first speaker was Prachi Maikar, and I have kind of gone through her workshops so many times. Whenever success gyans, this thing happen, I always participate in. I always listen. See, usually is the first speaker, and when she was speaking, just one decision can change your entire life. That those are the three lessons she spoke about today. And do you think when we say just one decision can change your life, was she saying something great, something unusual? No. But when we decide something that this has to happen, like she took a decision that her life won't be the same again. She won't have that same life again. So when she was saying that, I was trying to find out what is that one decision that can be so momentous for me, and what will be your one decision which you will take, and you will be having a changed life thereafter. Have you thought about such a thing in your life? That is a huge decision. So as a result, what I did was I wrote down my goal, written goal, and what is that one thing that will change my life? So I wrote that goal. Let me start with that one goal because all the goals will be around that. That there are multiple roles and multiple goals, multiple decisions that can change my life. But let me start with that one. So, in the meantime, let me also change my identity because it shows as Nilima Gandhi word, and let me change it to Nilika N. So that is my real name. Yes, and coming back to the video. So here is what is the one decision you want to take right now that will change your life? That is what she was saying. So I took one decision, no matter what, I shall serve every day at least 5 people. So when you take a decision, actually that decision is forgotten unless you write it down. So that is what I did. I wrote it down here, and also I am talking about it so that I won't forget. So those 5 people I have to, irrespective of the result, I would serve somehow or other. At least I'll ask what kind of service I can provide. So that will be my job. And if uh, if in the process something happens, like I should be very um, dispassionate about whatever unattached about the way about the behavior I will get. So that is my decision. I shall serve every day at least 5 people, and this should this has been my biggest pain point. Say, like say looking at going asking people, they are suffering, right? But I am not able to ask that that pinpoint pain point questions because of which might be they are not able to share what is their biggest pain point, and not many people will be able to share that as well. So what is required as per my understanding is to engage with them and understand what they have to share. So unless that trust is built, these are very unknown people, they are not going to tell about themselves. So that is the first learning. And what is your current reality like? So am I successful, not successful, very successful, uh, a failure, whatever is that, there is a universe's algorithm, and that nobody knows, right? So today, so many times I heard about this, and what what comes after what? That is what an algorithm is, and according to us, our own principle, that is not going to be something which we will know prior to it, unless we have a lot of experience. Even with a lot of experience, most of the times, this is not something very apparent. So let go of that and accept whatever reality is happening, whatever is happening. That is something which will mm, give us, give ourselves a clarity about what is the next step we should have with the right mindset, right? The mindset matters a lot, without which we will not take the next right step, next right action. So mm, outlining that reality is very essential. And she says uh, awareness changes everything. So unless we know what needs to be changed, we can't change anything. So that is very obvious again, but we don't pay attention to it. So that is actually my power. That is what I learned today, and that is what I am sharing. So this is Prachi Maikar, and then she asked, the, "Who are you? What? Who do you want to be? A problem solver?" So there are the list. Whether you want to be a transformer, a problem solver, a massive action taker, disruptor, thought leader, kingmaker, connector, reformer, wealth creator, mentor, reinventor, life changer, innovator, or visionary. Don't you think at some time or other we become a little bit of everything like this? So to start that, to get there, we need to start from somewhere. So what is the one thing that you want to be right now? So right now I have a problem and I solve a problem. So that is where I start from, problem solver, and later on I can be a bit of everything. So that is what my learning has been. And what and how much are you willing to invest in yourself? So how much, of course, this is the golden question that we have. How much, sorry about that, I haven't eaten. Oh, how much can we invest in ourselves? It is a constant investment in ourselves. Do you realize that? So here is something we need to think of. Do we invest all the time? Like it has to be time and our resources. The easiest thing to invest is the time. Make time and invest on yourself. So that is what I do consistently. But I have to ask one question, whether that is sufficient or not, and what change I need to do so that this will be meaningful. And she says, you have to dwell within yourself so that the manifestation happens intentionally. You intend it and it happens. And not accidentally, because accidentally every day lot of manifestation keep happening. And as we say, Jim Rohn says, we are the average of 5 people that we surround ourselves with. So who is that? Uh, who is that friend? That friend might be a person who wants the best in you, but who doesn't want you to get out of your comfort zone. So beware of those kind of friends, and surround yourself with the friends who can teach you. And as her life story goes, she is a phenomenal achiever, and she wants all of us to be achievers, and she wants that. And the 3 things that she wanted for us is these things: surround yourself with the right people, invest in yourself, and let us see what else she says. Just one decision can change your life. So that was Prachi Michael, as I learned today. And then came Pooja Punit, who says, whether you are a perfect, you have perfected something or not, no matter what you have learned, you can share it with anybody. So she says, we face a lot of resistance. Your camera is not right. That was the resistance I faced for many days. Like say it was for months I faced. And then I finally changed my camera. That was a feedback I took. And then since I have started the inner voice, someday it doesn't want to work at all. Someday it will work. So that inner voice also keeps stopping us. Perfectionism is another thing. Goal, we set a goal and then we think that we'll do another time. Decision to whatever decision for which we have set a date, that also we delete. So she has a magic formula. She gives them a name like fear auntie, doubt auntie, and overwhelm mama. So whenever we are getting engrossed with whatever negative feelings, she says we give them some name so that you can deal with them. Those are negative things. So bring out your positive thing and obsessed with something. Like so not listening to uh, the negativity that is around us. Very well-meaning people who are dream stealers as well. Those might be around us, and quite possibly they are well-meaning people, but we depend and we kind of trust them a lot. But if any trust that um, leads us to inaction, that is something needs to be completely discarded. Right? And start now. Start now. People, when they become well-wisher and come to you saying that you should not do this, you should do this, they are projecting their insecurities, their own failures. They are projecting onto you. They might have failed, of course, with the similar circumstances, but you might as well, because of your consistency, may succeed. So take that chance, become obsessed. There is no balance in life. Just become obsessed with everything. Overcome your guilt and fear and perfectionism and everything and get going about whatever you are obsessed with. Then Suren, of course, he is a person who is kind of anchoring all this thing, and he wants India to be the training center in as it was in the past golden days. So this is Suren. Then he has brought so many masters, and they have done so much of thing. And we have a video also. You can subscribe and learn also what people are saying. And this is the 8 every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. There is a new video being launched, a new podcast being launched, which can be watched, and our learning can be enhanced. It is for free. Then Meghna Dixit, Dr. Meghna Dixit is the doctor who doesn't treat her patients with medicine. She does the root cause analysis, and here she is giving one example wherein she says that the Ferrari doesn't run into capacity because we don't know how to drive it. And let us see what is missing in us that is preventing us from going great guns. So if your brain is not going to help, if it is not survival, so you have to resist, you have to overcome the brain's resistance to get going. So here she is saying how to do that by actions, habit, emotions, expectation, set point, and experience. That is how those are the results with which we can put the resistance of the brain aside and get going. So whatever negative thought is coming, it is coming from the survival tendency of the brain. So we need to know that and get over that as well. The other thing is, do you have automatic positive thoughts? That is from the superpower it is coming, right? So if you are connected to the source, then the superpower is functional and it is helping you with uh, those kind of thoughts. So recognize those thoughts and get to it. You aware of that? Setting goal and that is a conscious process, but the achievement has to be an unconscious process. What does he mean by that? Your brain has to be put on this automation, process automation of success, so that we know for sure. We know for sure that with focus and observance, what happens is the negative things can be repaired and the positive installation will happen. And with positive installation, there will be consistent action. With consistent action, we can see the set point and we can have the experience. Experience is sometimes we succeed, sometimes we don't succeed. Right? Then comes seed, and here is my ideal person, Thaddeus Lawrence, who has run 4 kinds of deserts, and he talks about the consistency. Whenever you feel frustrated, just push yourself a bit more. Finish line is the evidence of success, but it takes time to reach there. In the meantime, till you reach the finish line, there will be a lot of values, lot of processes, lot of struggles. All those things will be there. So those processes you have to keep in mind. And he says while running some desert, his coach was asking him to run slower, slow down. And what does he mean by that? He builds his capacity, his cardiac system, his muscles, everything. And that is done by the slowing down of the process. So trust the process. Not everything will feel like a win, but it is something building. So building also, the process is also a win. And he talks about authority. Authority is, unless you are an authority about something, you are not going to be accepted. And the one thing that you will always have authority is the adventure of starting something new, doing it in your way. If you are doing that, then obviously you are into the process of authority because you are not afraid of failure, right? When a person is not afraid of failure, he is quite confident. And once your confidence is built, then you have the authority. And if somebody is saying, if somebody is weighing you down, really kind of creating a terror, then see who you are outsourcing your authority. So don't allow the other person to decide for yourself. And that person doesn't decide for you unless you agree. Agree to his decision. Don't agree. Don't decide to quit. Be there consistently. So if you are there for sufficient time, the universe responds. That is the law of the universe. And when you start, you will have a goal, and that goal looks like enormous, huge one. And somebody will tell you that do you think you will get to that goal because you are not yet qualified. So is that is what going on inside your mind? He is asking every time. Ask your mind, what is going on inside your mind? Sometimes it will be like say your ability, sometimes your resources, sometimes your identity, sometimes your authority. So identify where it is coming in these four zones. And that was his golden nugget. And it was such a huge thing for me today to learn. Then Bhagyesh is another half blind. He has vision impaired, and he spoke about creating a crore business in which he has employed lot of people who have vision impairment. What a vision he said. I forgot to take note, but I was listening to him. I didn't hear about him from some other sources. This was the first time I heard him speak and about his business, and he is doing such a great thing. He is obviously a leader, and he is obviously a visionary, right? And he's helping preserve the dignity of the vision impaired, who otherwise would have been very dependent, and not all of them are self-sufficient and are independent of their handicap, right? So he is doing a great job. And if he is able to do, then we can also do. Next was Savan Kapoor. I have been his student, and the same thing that I told you in the beginning of this video, how people approach their jobs. I of course also started with giving people the insight as to how to be positive about the job, how to gain more about the job, it is never the leadership, it is never the promotion, it is never the top position which gives you happiness. It is always the way we approach the job. That's the thing. So he talks about the 7 stages of financial independence for working professionals, and all of us is looking for financial independence sometime or other. And to achieve financial independence, we have to have a kind of mindset within the job, which will ask us to reach beyond, reach beyond the job. So while in job, we get into a job with our aspiration, then we have a promise, and then we gain momentum with social achievements and leading to solid opportunities. Then we harvest whatever experience we gain. With that, we keep on achieving lot of mm, milestones. Then all those stories will create a masterpiece uh, in ourselves. Then we'll be able to leave a legacy for the people to follow us afterwards, right? So, and he was talking about professional, about the dream job, where our skills come into being, our experience and other things. And there are people hire us for solving a problem. And um, like say what aspects are needed to be successful. So it is lot of working within. And he says one side of our career timeline is financial reward, the other side is professional fulfillment, and the third line is work-life balance. If we can do that, unless we do this, sometimes or other the frustration is going to come. The next is the sound healing that he talks. Everything is energy in this world. So why not use sound to heal ourselves? And frequency vibration is all that is there to in this world, energy, frequency, and vibration. So if we see our emotional setup, our mental setup, our spiritual setup, those are internal and the physical setup. It is only on the digital setup we always focus when we are in trouble. But if we focus on our inner world, and with the help of sound energy, then we can actually create abundance in our world. That is the learning today. Then this is Chinha Raheja, who talks about personal branding, and in which she says that people who are experts usually have low visibility. They don't care about being visible. So that is where they create lot of frustration. And people with high expertise and high visibility who can talk about themselves, they actually create stories of hope, stories of hope. And it is not about them only, it is for the society also. So creating a personal brand is our responsibility. So when we have high expertise, we need to be highly visible also. That is what personal brand is. And we bother because we reap our financial reward also in that process. And we can start being a resident expert to become a global superstar. So whichever stage we are in. This is the rising star stage that I am, most of us are. Whoever has thought about beyond the regular life that we have thought of, and we are in this stage, we have 2 more stages to climb up to be a global superstar. That will be our branding. So right now, as a rising star, what branding that we are following? that needs some concept contemplation as well. And she talks about A, B, C, D. Appearance. Be careful about your appearance. Then B is about branding. Let me see what she talks about. So, branding, yes. C is communication, and 4 is digital footprint. With A, B, C, D, we can create our personal brand and legacy. And the keynote speaker of today was Gaur Gopal Das. What a phenomenal speaker he was. He gave example of two Rockefeller stories. And he told that we don't actually require resources when we are struggling with something. Whatever resource we have, we can actually go with that. We can, if we give 200% of whatever we have, we can actually achieve a lot. And whenever we are stuck, we should take responsibility and give 200%. We have to work for it, and whatever we need to do, we need to do it today. If it has to be done tomorrow, it has to be done today. If it has to be done today, it has to be done now. And finally, he gets plan of action, which is phenomenal as well. What you can do is write down a goal, then give yourself small goals which you can achieve on daily basis. As I have given, I think that I will serve 5 people every day. I'll write content that will help these people to grow more, and those small steps will become a plan. And what, when, how, create those things, but start doing it now. A plan backed up by action realization is how your dream will be realized. Don't you think this is a huge thing? I thought this kind of took me into next level. And these were the mentors, most of them repeatedly done. And as a last word, they said, skill that you learn happens if you attempt to take action. And that was Dr. Meghna Dikshit. Thaddeus Lawrence says, cognitive and motor learning. What I hear, I forget. What I see, I remember. What I do, I understand. And Chinha Raheja asks us to take to water. Unless you do, you can't learn. Puja, she says, take help and return the favor. Ask for help. And Dr. Mayank says, work hard and work intelligently. Sawan Kapoor asks to let life shine. Sid says, have the power to say no. Rachi says, let us grow and become a bigger ship to contain more of the abundance. The more the container, the more it will accommodate. And Rajiv Tanreja says, if you are not willing to learn, nobody can help you. If you are willing to learn, nobody can stop you. Yes, as I remember, he told, be someone to empower others. That is his biggest takeaway. Or Gopal ji, he says, give yourself a call to action. Of course, that is where we miss ourselves. And Suren says, let us be one class. So hope this has helped a lot. And if you have some takeaway, just let me know. And tell me what has been your takeaway and whether these slides help you. And yes, Let us learn. And please give comments. And if you want to call a book a call with me, then the video has a Calendly link below it in its description. So use it to book a call with me so that I know where can I come to help you to grow more and get unstuck. Be fulfilled. Let us meet.